Hi everybody, Richard Ells here from Electroneum. I'm coming and making a video. I haven't made a video for a little while. As you can see, I'm in somewhat casual gear. We are all working hard here at Electroneum to make it all happen. So the crypto space in general has been a little bit negative for the last year, I suppose. Pretty much every project is suffering from negative social media posts. We're no different. I think we're starting to see some positivity in the overall market, which is nice. But what it's all about is delivering a project, and we have worked tirelessly to get us out onto the ground into South Africa, which I shall talk about in a moment. But the feedback from that is really, really good. And what you've got to focus on, I think, is that to deliver a project, you have to work blimmin' hard. And so if I ever go quiet and you think, where is he? We haven't skipped off some out of town. We're actually just really, really grafting. So this weekend we had something go on with the blockchain, and everybody reported in and was working through a bank holiday weekend. So nobody in this team is any less passionate now than they've ever been. We are in a very, very good place to move forwards into the rest of this year with some really, really positive things. South Africa, where are we at? What's going on? So you probably know that we launched on the ground in South Africa with an MVNO called the Unlimited. That trial has been really, really, really interesting and really important. So firstly, we've had people screaming pretty much on social, when's another country going live? When's another country going live? I think it's really important that we all just focus on what's critical is to get it to work. Getting it to work and making the ecosystem work is far more important than just getting countries live. I will say we have other countries ready to go live, but we're holding them back at the moment because we're learning so much from being on the ground. So we are probably one of the only, if not the only, cryptocurrency that's actually sending people out to these places. So we've got people from our team in South Africa. We've recruited people on the ground in South Africa as well, but we've actually flown out there and we're working with these guys to make sure we understand exactly how to build a proper ecosystem on the ground. Now, what do I mean by a proper ecosystem? I don't just mean we dish out some ETN, they send it off to an exchange and cash it. That just doesn't work for anybody. We've got to actually change people's lives and change people's habits into using ETN as a means of payment. So there are lots of things we're doing to do that, but the first major piece of feedback that we've had from working on the ground is that our app experience was not good enough. So we were all sort of taken aback perhaps to start with, but actually when we then started to work and look at it, we thought, do you know what, the onboarding process is just far too long. It's far too onerous getting online. So we've massively and radically overhauled that, and you'll see this come out next week. Huge change, which gets you on, literally you download the app, and from the moment the app is downloaded, you are into the app and working as a user within, I'd say, 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You're able to then start taking your selfie and getting mining and starting to work. We're also rewarding people for doing this various steps within the app. So each of those steps gets rewarded. This is all based on the feedback that we've got on the ground from real people who've been struggling with the existing app. So we've got lots of other feedback that we'll be working into the app over time, but that was the most critical part. Now, the good news is that even though the onboarding has been hard and the feedback on the ground has been a little bit like, oh, this sounds too good to be true, something for nothing, it's too good to be true. Now it's quite hard for me to actually get that something for nothing, so no, I'll leave it. So even though that had been our feedback and we knew we had to radically shake that up, we've still hit the target that we were set by the Unlimited. We had a 3-month target that they needed to see us hit for them to be happy. We've already hit that. We hit that in month 2. So we've hit the target even though our app was actually not the best one in the world for getting on board. So once we change this up, this is going to be the major hurdle that was in the way of that viral growth I've always been talking about. If you think about it, if you're giving away some value that someone can spend, and those people are earning $20, $30, $40 a month, and you're giving them a few dollars worth of value, it would be crazy that this doesn't have viral growth. So when you look at it and you say, well, we're not seeing the viral growth we expect, you know there's a problem. So we're always on the ground, we're looking, we're finding out what the problems are, and then we're working to fix them. when you see this app update, you'll see exactly what we've been doing. There's a lot of work gone into that. So the things to look at from the South African project are: 1, success. We've already hit the targets that we've been set. 2, we're nowhere near finished on just the trial part. We want to make sure that we get every part of this ecosystem working so that people can not just buy airtime, they can buy food in a shop, they can buy other things, they can top up the utility bills. All these things are coming into place within the ecosystem. Once we know how to mold it, so we know how to get ambassadors, we know what tools those ambassadors need to push out, then suddenly we can drop another country in, another country in, another country in. We'll know the exact prescription to make this work on the ground in other places. So that's the update on South Africa. I am, as you may have already guessed, super excited about where we're going down there and what it leads into for the rest of the world. So what you can probably take from all of this is that whilst we go quiet from time to time, we are absolutely hammering things out behind the scenes to make sure this all works. Now, one of the things that has been delayed, I know I promised things and they always come, but they are sometimes a little bit behind schedule. Gig Guru, I've talked about it a lot. It's absolutely critical for what we're doing on the ground. The gig economy is being really well received by the institutional people that I'm talking to, the players in the market that we want to partner with. So it's been well received. It's a much bigger project than we scoped out originally. It keeps sort of evolving, but we also had to take everybody off and put them onto this redevelopment of the app because it's more critical at this stage to get users actually wanting Electroneum or wanting to be part of the project. Then we can bring Gig Guru in. So I took everybody off it, put them back on to getting their app done. That should be released next week. At which point I will get everybody back onto finishing that Gig Guru software off to get the gig economy on the ground. And once again, like I said, the partnership opportunities that brings are quite strong as well. So it's been a positive first quarter. I'm very pleased with everything that's happened. The team have delivered an amazing amount of stuff, an amazing amount of code in that period. And all in all, I would say Q1 of 2019 has been a great success.